So for nurse educator competencies, competency 1, facilitate learning. I currently am an adjunct instructor at a local college, and so therefore have been able to engage in some of these that I will be speaking about. So this past year, my director allowed me to pilot a flipped classroom utilizing VoiceThread, which I learned about in my informatics class at Fort Hays State. And so what I did was I developed the voice threads for my lecture, and the students were asked to watch the voice thread and read the materials, come to class prepared to implement that knowledge. And we did that through active dialogue and questioning. And then in the afternoon, they executed that material in our skills lab. The course evals were overwhelmingly positive, especially from our auditory learners that said that they appreciated being able to pause the lecture and listen to it over and over again. Some other students appreciated the fact that they could listen to the voice threads in their car. And then lastly, they appreciated the voice threads being available to them because they could listen to all of them for our comprehensive exam. I also continue to work PRN for this very reason, as it is essential that we stay up to date on the trends and technology to bring this knowledge into the classroom for our students. For competency 2, facilitate learner development and socialization, I have a file of online learning style quizzes that I have in my office to help students go over these if they're struggling in an area. What we have found is that high school students and in their prerequisite classes, they have to study so differently once they get into their nursing courses that they have not yet learned their style of study and test taking. We also utilize the Loma Linda form, which is from the Loma Linda University. And this form takes about 45 minutes to an hour to go over with students after they take a test and they are struggling. So there are various questions that are asked. For instance, if they feel like they had insufficient information, if they had test anxiety or lack of test skills, with questions underneath if those apply to them. And then there are potential related factors, assessment needed, and then possible interventions. And this has been a fantastic tool to use with students. For competency 3, assessment and evaluation strategies, we have implemented the use of ExamSoft technology that is an evaluation or creation, administration, and assessment software. And this is the closest format that you can get to for the NCLEX as possible. After testing, the faculty review the tests and the statistics, and the software enables us to see the KR20 of our tests for test reliability. And then we can also see the point by serial of each question that is asked. Once we review those statistics, we meet with a member from the curriculum committee and go over those test questions that might need to be nullified, and then we send out the test scores. And those test scores need to be sent to our students at least within 48 hours, but more quickly if possible. And then lastly, a student has 10 business days in order to not only review their test, but to appeal a test question if they feel there has been an error. For competency 4, participate in curriculum design and evaluation of program outcomes. Our curriculum committee meets monthly to review standards and practices, and if a change is warranted, then we have a full faculty meeting to address those changes. Faculty are given money to attend conferences, and our director of nursing encourages us to attend a conference at least once a year. And then we also evaluate and review the ACEN standards to assess our curriculum against the outcomes that we have stated and submitted to KSBN. For competency 5, function as a change agent and leader, I am in the Division of Social Services in my institution, and I attend monthly meetings. I do not participate as much as I would like to because I continue to have imposter syndrome. But I hope to be more vocal in that committee in the future. And then I also sat on a search committee for our business department this past year and worked closely with that division chair as she appreciated my documentation of each of our candidates. So they appreciated having a nurse. Also, when I learn something new in my classes at Fort Hays State, I take them to our faculty meetings for possible changes. And then after showing the voice thread and the success with that, 2 other colleagues utilize that as well. For competency 6, pursue continuous quality improvement. I think it is important to model lifelong learning, and I believe our students appreciate that we continue to pursue our education. After I complete my master's, I hope to go into a DNP program. The third year, we have our formal evaluations for the first 2 years with our Director of Nursing and our Dean of Faculty. And then the third year, we have a formal evaluation process with our Director of Nursing, the Dean of Faculty, and 2 faculty on the Faculty Executive Committee. They evaluate our presentation style and then give us feedback on that. For competency 7, engage in scholarship, I very much enjoy reading and researching and learning better methods. There is a website that our social work chair told me about, Faculty Focus, and weekly they send articles to help with student engagement or classroom activities, and I have found that helpful. The Nurse Educator Conference I attended at the beginning of the summer had a breakout session regarding student engagement, and I've already purchased Teach Students How to Learn, student engagement techniques, and strategies for test success that she spoke about. Lastly, competency 8. I am currently the counselor for our Sigma Theta Tau International Board, and that will assist me in collaboration with other nurse educators in schools. And then hopefully at some point I can hold a board position with our KSNA.